Have you ever been using a planner and thought, well, this works, but it doesn't exactly fit like a glove? Maybe there's a box you have to relabel, a tiny note space you never use, or a section you wish took up just a bit more of the page. I don't have any problems with using a layout like that, but I will say there's nothing quite like the feeling of settling into a planner that fits your life perfectly in every area. Most planners are a one-size-fits-all though, and you'd be hard-pressed to ever find a perfect match. That is, unless you were the one who designed the entire planner from the top to the bottom. And that's exactly the mindset behind Plum Paper. You choose everything, coil or disc bound, Sunday or Monday start, and every page layout you could think of, lined or unlined. And the cherry on top, you can make it start any month of the year. So I picked out 5 completely different planners tailored to 5 imaginary people to show off just how life-changing it can be when your layout meets you in your season of life with all your individual needs and pain points. Thank you, Plum Paper, for sponsoring this video. Let's jump right into it. Before we look at our first layout and talk about all the options, I want to make sure that you know that I have a 10% off code with Plum Paper. And from the 10th through the 14th, you'll get an extra 30% off for Plum Paper's Black Friday pre-sale. That's 40% off with my code, y'all. So if you see something you like, head over to their website and try customizing one for yourself. Also, if you find my videos helpful or entertaining, the best way you can say thank you is by clicking through my affiliate link in the description whenever you're browsing or making a purchase. Thank you so much. You help keep this channel going. Look at this beautiful cover. They have so many covers to choose from, y'all. You also have other cover options where you can add a clear plastic layer to protect your cover even more. I don't feel the need to do that because these are very durable covers. Bendable, completely wipeable. You can choose their gold or silver coil. You can also choose disc bound punched. I got all 3 sizes today to share with you. We're going to start with the 7x9. I chose the matte gold coil on this one. We'll talk about the prices for all the add-ons once we get into the planner because I have all that noted. The inside of your cover is just that nice neutral background. This one has a floral theme to it. They have 2 different color themes. They have a completely neutral with 0 color in it. Also, you can add in one of 3 muted colors. We'll talk about that when we get to those planners. Plum Paper is 100% made in the USA and it is made to order. This one is called Bright Blooms. You have your nameplate page. You also get to choose the month that your planner starts in. I chose November, so start it whenever it works for you and you get to choose the number of months that it lasts for. So if you want just a 6-month planner or an 8-month planner or a 9-month planner, it really customizes to your life and your season. We have these 2025 year at a glance pages up front and then 2026 too, because I started it in 2025 and then it goes into 2026. We have they labeled it special dates pages, but you could use these boxes for anything you want. They could be for goals. They could be for projects. It could be for gratitudes from the month or good memories every month. Then you have an ideas, plans, and goals page where they are not labeled by month, and you could use those for whatever you wish for also. You have just a blank note page on the back of there, and then we go into our months. This color scheme is called their modern color scheme. It will not only be the color of your dashboard, divider, and tabs for each month, and you see it runs for 6 months and then it starts back over. The modern color scheme also carries over to your monthly dashboard pages here, and it has florals on there because I picked that option. It also carries over into your monthly layouts as well as your weekly layouts. And we'll get more into detail on that, but you can see how this month has that golden color weaved throughout in some of the lines and the shaded boxes. And then if you go into December, it is a different color. It's like this bluish gray. And January looks completely different with a darker blue. February is a teal. Just want to give you a look at the whole color scheme. And then March is a light green. And April is a peach. And you do even have the days of the week in the color scheme. But each one of these planners, you can pick in any one of their color schemes. So when you open to your monthly tabbed page, you're not opening to the month. You open to this monthly dashboard. This page is a slicker page. It is cardstock, but the back is a slicker cardstock. So you do have to be careful about what pens you write on the back of this page with. But you have 3 circles for the month: birthdays, events, things to remember, and then a blank section at the bottom. I like how these that are unlabeled gives you room to add in whatever fits your life. And then you have a whole lined notes page opposite your monthly dashboard. Then you turn to your monthly layout. You get to choose if your monthly layout is a Monday or a Sunday start. And then you get to choose if your weekly layout is a Monday or Sunday start. And they don't have to be the same. You could start your month on a Sunday and start your week on a Monday. And I've mixed it all up what I chose on all my planners to be able to share with you. That is so rare in the planner world to be able to pick what day your month starts on to be different from the day that your week starts on. You have a look at your next month at a glance and notes room here with a dotted line to write on down the side. You see how my monthly boxes have lines here? Well, you can also choose them to be blank. You get to choose when you build your planner. I wanted to show you how much you could fit on the lined boxes. I do have to say lined boxes on monthlies help me to fit more in the boxes because I write more neatly having the lines. They have a little bit of a bigger blank section left at the bottom though for you, and I fit 2 more events in there. You know, that might be noting your weather or your dinner or your workout, but you have 4 lines. You have coming in and going out of your month in a lighter gray. The rest of your month and print is like a charcoal gray. You get to choose if you have holidays in your planner. You pick the holiday package. They have all these different packages you can pick from. You choose which ones you want in your planner and you can customize those. I picked just the normal US, I believe, religious holiday package in the ones that I put them in. And then you could not add them in at all so that you won't have any holidays. So that is completely up to you too. There is so many things you can customize. One thing to know about Plum Paper planners is, let me show you on another month so you can understand. When you are coming in or going out of a month, if you see here, your whole week is in January, but Sunday is in February. So they're going to lightly gray out that day. So it's very visual to you that that is the next month. And when you flip to February, you actually have the choice of which weeks you use. So you have 2 weeks doubled. I would choose to use the one where most of the month is in because I actually used Plum Paper. When I started my channel, I had been using Plum Paper for 3 years. They were my first fancy planner purchase online, the first company I found, and I was always so excited for my box to come every year. And back then, they didn't even have all the options that they have now. But if you see, this same week is repeated right here, but it's all grayed out except for the day that's in February. So you choose which one of those weeks you use. They give you the choice if you want to flip to February and use it or not. And then you just go into your month from there. So after your monthly layout, you have that weekly layout where it's all in the last month, but I started in November and these first 2 days are November. That's why that's all grayed out. I filled out a week in every one of these planners for a pretend person, and I made them all very different people with different types of lives. This layout is called Bright Blooms and Vertical. This is for someone who doesn't have a lot of timed meetings or timed tasks at all. This is for someone who likes all their tasks divided out by priority and that they really like to have a weekly habit tracker and a weekly overview. I love these scalloped shaded boxes. I think they look so beautiful on the page. I love how the golden color is brought into the page. Over here, we have our pen test. So I only pen tested 1 planner out of the 5 because we have 5. Their paper is listed as 70 pound. It is made specifically for their company, but I am telling you, it feels like an 80-pound paper. It is very substantial. You can hear that. I would call it a smooth paper. It's not extra toothy, but it does have tooth to it. If I went back to my past Plum Papers, they don't have this little bit of tooth feel to it. So while I would not call it a toothy paper, I do feel like it has some tooth to it now, and their paper is not as smooth or slick as people used to call it. And I really enjoyed writing on it with all my pens and highlighters. And I think that most people would really enjoy this paper. So here is my pen test. You can see the whole page was written on with my notes, but absolutely nothing is bleeding through and very little show through at all. Maybe if anything, it's like on my Staedtler marker and my Papermate Flair pen, which are both dark colored inky markers. This cover is called the Emerald Lace. It is absolutely stunning in person. This planner starts at $39.99 and then you have add-ons. So I added on a gold coil instead of silver. That's $10.95. I made it 12 months. Over a certain amount of months in some planners adds on an amount, and this one adds on $10 for 12 months. You can even go over 12 months, like 13, 14, 15 months, and it only adds on a couple dollars. I added custom text to this one. So you see all these boxes, you can leave them blank. All these boxes that say dinner, to do, work tasks, top 3, this week's goal, and I left that box blank. But if you want to add custom text anywhere on the page, it's a $5.95 add-on, which I just think is amazing that you can do that. I also added dispersed meal planning pages, 1 per month for $5.95. Let me show you those. At the end of every month, I added this meal planning page on. So it gave me a look at each week of the month because this is for up to 5 weeks. And then a grocery list, meal ideas, like if you want to keep constant meal ideas for the month going there or for the season, if you change those seasonally. And then you have Monday through Sunday, every day of the week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner are really light on there. I like how they put them really light. So if you just want a meal plan for dinner, that's fine too. And that is opposite your lined page for the month. Let's take a look at the week I planned in this one. You have room up here. You could do anything you want with this box. Remember, I added this text in. So I wrote this week's goal. You could write one big goal in there, but I kind of like having 3 up there because there's room for it. I love the way it looks written with an inky black pen on the shaded box. I just did a little motivational quote right there. And you guys, I custom put in these habits so I don't have to rewrite them. But if you want to add custom text and you only want to put it on certain parts of the page, you can do that too. You could leave these blank if you think, well, I'm going to need to change those seasonally. You could leave that custom text blank, but you could still put these in. I put a top 3. I put work tasks. And each of those has 3 different bullet dots to check off, and then to-do list down here. And then I labeled this dinner. You have 10 to-do list tick off boxes down here. I just put for this person, her top 3 tasks of the day, and then her few work tasks. I saw her as someone who worked part-time from home, so she didn't need a huge section for work. And her job is something that is not very stressful, and that she is also a mom to 3 kids. That's the person I imagined for this family. And so mainly she needs to do a few work tasks for the day, and she needs to keep her priorities in check. She loves to check on her habits. Saturday and Sunday being stacked gives you 2-inch columns instead of the normal 1.5 inches. And she likes having that extra space so you're not always feeling like you're chopped off in the middle of everything that you're writing. There's a look at it on a blank page, and we'll go to another month with a different color for just another look at this layout. I just love the shaded boxes and the florals in this one. My planner wraps up with my last meal planning page for the month. Then you have 4 dot grid pages, a contacts page, and a password page. Then you have 2027 at a glance so you can plan ahead, and you have a pocket. So those are at the back of every planner. This pocket is really durable, coated on the outside, and can hold anything you need in there. A piece of paper folded over fits perfectly in there and is held very securely. Also, a 12-month planner does not feel big or heavy or bulky at all. It feels so portable, even in 12 months. And there's a look at all my tabs. Planner number 2, we're going down to A5 size. We're going to a silver coil so that you don't add anything onto your price. Look at that beautiful cover. I'll tell you the name of it when we get inside. Nameplate page, same pages up front. I also started this one in November, but this is their colorful. So these colors are different from their modern color scheme. As you can see, November is not the mustard yellow. And then you go into 2026, since this covers both years, same pages up front. It's just on an A5 size page. Here's your beautiful teal for November. Here's what your page looks like in an A5 size. Exact same information on your monthly dashboard page, just a little bit shrunk down. Then you go into your monthly layout. This one I did a Sunday start, and I did no lines, and I did no holidays. And that is your choice. And as you can see, they do not use a massive amount of space for a header. It's a very small header, so your boxes are still amply sized in your A5 size. Then we go into our weekly layout. This weekly layout I envisioned for the list maker. This is someone who needs a lot of list room every week, doesn't need to have priorities or habit trackers. She just likes her list and then a simple horizontal space for the day. The name of this cover is Danish Berry Foliage in navy. It's really pretty, especially for the winter time. On your weekly, I call it like your dashboard page. You have your top 3 for priorities. You have your My Week. So you could use this in a lot of different ways. I'll show you the way that I use that spot. You have a big, massive to-do list, a grateful for box, and you have a note section at the bottom. Then you just have Monday through Sunday, equal space on every day, 3 long lines. Horizontal planners always lend themselves well to people who like to write out longer sentences, line items, where you need a lot of detail writing in your tasks. And or if you like a little bit of journaling on your day. Here's a look at the week I planned out. I highlighted all my timed appointments or anything outside of the house, even just picking up glasses, even if it's not a timed appointment. If I had to leave the house, I highlighted it and then just put daily to-dos there with my top priorities more being on the left. And then I would envision using the right side for just other things that I hope I can get done that day. For my week, I decided to write in my big appointments or anything outside of the house. So just at a glance, I could look down and see, oh, on Monday, I have 2 things. On Wednesday, I only have 1. On Thursday, I have 1, and kind of see those appointments at a glance right there. Your to-do list with the tick offs, you have 16 lines. You have room to fit in several grateful for things there as your week goes on and you just fill those in. I think at the end of the week, it's something so nice to look over, even at the end of the year, if you flip through there and look at it. And don't forget, and then just a note section. This one is called the Horizontal Weekly Overview. Here are your monthly colors. You have a purple, you have a dark eggplant, a more going into the violet purple range, a lilac purple, a peach, a more pinkish peach, a coral, a lime green that is so pretty and vibrant, a different shade of green. You can tell through the colors, they kind of go in an ombre effect throughout. A teal and another teal. And this one I picked neutral inside, completely neutral, no color to it whatsoever. So this is what their neutral can look like. I know so many people love their neutral so that they can add in their own colors, their own stickers, washi tape, or just someone who wants it neutral and wants to go in with a pen and a highlighter and nothing else. All right, now we've seen an A5 size, we've seen a 7x9. Let's see an 8.5 by 11 size planner. Now, none of these I did not get in disc bound and I did not get unpunched, but just remember that is an option. I just went with their basic silver coil here so that there's no upcharge once again. I love this cover with all these books and bookshelves, and this one I added my name to. So any of their covers you can customize. You can put your name, you can put the year on it, and there's many different ways to do it. There's like, you can pick a bottom banner. There's another one that I picked like a scalloped circle in the middle. There's all different shapes and options and ways to customize each cover. You have your nameplate page, your 25 year at a glance, your 26 year at a glance, your special dates, once again, all the same as the other planners, but you can just see it's bigger. It's on an 8.5 by 11 size page. I picked the modern color scheme once again in this one, except this one does not have the florals added. So this is just the modern color scheme without any florals in it. I picked a Monday start on my month. And I don't think I showed you the dashboard page. It's the exact same, lined page opposite, just bigger. I picked lines in this one. Even though your page is bigger, you still get the same number of lines. It's still 4 lines. You're just getting more space between your lines. So if you're someone who has bigger handwriting, or if you just like more space, then look at their 8.5 by 11s. You can make any planner 8.5 by 11. I did add the holiday package to this one. Okay, starting out, remember how if you're leaving a month, it's going to be grayed out. So let's jump into this. Let's look. This is called the Me Planner. Actually, this was the exact layout that I used, but I used it in a 7x9 size for 3 years. Starting my channel, I believe I was on my 3rd year of using Plum Paper, the Me layout. I loved this layout. And back then, I believe there was not an option. I can't remember if you could customize these. So this is an option. I did not do customization here because if I was ordering this planner, I would actually like to leave these spaces open because that might change with me seasonally or monthly, or even 1 week. I might decide, you know what, that's not working for me. I want to change what goes there. So I didn't put in the customization here to leave it open to be able to change throughout the year. But I love that if you know how you're going to use it and you know what works for you, you can put in customization here. You can put in kids' names. You can put in different times of day. You can put in different blocks of your day. I'll show you what I did. So you have 7 different blocks here. Yes, this could also make a great teacher planner or homeschool planner, but they actually have teacher planners and homeschool planners and academic planners too. So if you're looking for that, make sure you peruse those. They have some more add-ons and things to those planners that make them built for that task. But this one would make a great teacher planner. Now, do you see how it's mainly neutral, but you can see how the color of the modern color theme is brought in just in your line dividers? So each month is going to look a little bit different because you have a different color for that month. When you go to January, it's navy. When you go to February, you have the teal blue lines. And April, you have the peach lines. So every month is going to look a little bit different. You could get it all in neutral and have no color in there at all. So this planner I designed thinking of, it's someone who wants their day to be done in different sections, like different buckets, right? This is my one bucket. This is my other bucket, like appointments, my top 3, my work box, my home box, my 2 kids each have a box, and then a dinner box. But of course, since I'm labeling those, I could change those. So this is someone who I imagined working from home, but working more full-time from home, needing more room. She might even make some of her boxes like 2 or 3 work boxes, dividing those into different work buckets. But right now she just has appointments. So she has Zoom calls for work, but she also has grocery delivery coming. She has her top 3 that she really wants to get those things done that day. And then what she needs to get done for work, home stuff she hopes to get done, where will her kids be at different times, or school projects she needs to remember to check in with them on, and then what are they having for dinner. You have a long to-do list weekly section right here and a notes box down here. You have your month at a glance up top. I started this one on a Monday. You could start it on a Sunday. In your 8.5 by 11, these boxes are a little over 1.75, and you have equal space for every day of the week. When you go to the back, you have a notes page section back here that actually has a good amount of lined notes pages. That's an add-on that you can do in your planner. You can add on just lined notes pages. You can pick your amount. So after that add-on that I did, then you have 4 dot grid pages again, just like all the other Plum Paper planners. This is what comes with your planner, your contacts, your passwords, your 2027 at a glance, your same pocket. Look at the coil size is made just right for your 12-month planner. I made this 12 months also. And even though it's 8.5 by 11, it doesn't feel overly thick or too hefty, especially if you have it folded over on your desk next to you. It's not too far off the table. I prefer planners that are not huge and thick. That's just a personal preference. So that's something to think about when you're building your planner. But this is a 12-month and it is still pretty slim. All right, this one I added on the gold coil because look at that cover. It looks so beautiful with it. And I added on the circle with 2026 in there. You get to pick the color and everything when you're adding that on there, because this planner I built starting in January. So I thought it would be fun to put 2026 on there. All your same pages up front. This is your modern color scheme once again, but starting in January with a dark navy blue. This layout I designed thinking it was someone who had a slower life, who was actually retired and their kids were all grown and they like to write in longer sentences to write out their to-dos. I tend to like to do that because if I don't give details, sometimes I don't know what I meant or I don't remember different details about things. So if you need more writing room, you have 6 lines, not counting the bottom divider line, which you definitely could use. In this one, I also added on fitness pages. 1 per month. I'll show you those pages. There's so many different add-ons and you can decide if these pages go every month, every week, up front, or in the back. And I also wanted to show you how just a standard little size Post-it note, a 1.5 by 2 inch, just off Amazon, fits right perfectly in this little note section. This is their second floral option that they have. It's beautiful. You don't have the same like colorful blooms coming in, but you have these beautiful drawn in blooms in the color of the month every single month. And every month it's a different bloom. So it's a different flower. And there's just a little one down at the bottom and a bigger one up top. You have one on your monthly notes page, and then you have one on your monthly layout too. For this monthly layout, I put the holidays in there. I also decided to put the moon phases. I put lines. I did a Monday start on my monthly, and I did a Monday start on my weekly too. So I did some tick off boxes, but then I also did some journaling like in the rest of the day because I imagined her life being slower and liking to record things that happened too. She could also just do a full day of journaling if she didn't end up having any to-do list tasks. I gave 2 ideas for ways to use this notes box. You could have like the weather and dinner, and like if you were going to walk every day, like map out when you're going to do that. Or you could have your timed appointments be there and they would really stand out. Like she was going to have a 1 p.m. Zoom with her friend Betty and then pick up a prescription at 4 p.m. I like the important this week section. You could list a whole lot of tasks there, or you could just put a few things that you want to remember for the week. You have equal space for Monday through Sunday. And then I added on a monthly overview fitness page where I could track every day water, steps, sleep, workouts, vitamins, calories for every single day of the month. On the back, it's your fitness goals for the month, your nutritional goals for the month, your motivations and rewards. And here, if you want to record your weight every single week of the month, did you hit your goals? Notes. How were my fitness habits this month? How was my food and nutrition intake? And so some reflection on the month. I love the font in this layout. I love the florals. I love the month at a glance up there. It's just a really beautiful, calming layout. So that's a horizontal option for you in a 7x9. All right, last but certainly not least, look at this beautiful cover. You can put your name in it in all different kinds of scripts. So I love that scallop with the script. I chose the matte gold coil once again because I thought it looked really good with the cover. This one was started in January also, and this one I went completely neutral. So my tabs are neutral. Everything's neutral. There is no color in it. At least I don't think I put any. Yeah, no, I didn't. Because with a neutral, you can choose to where there's like a tiny bit of, I believe, like an olive green color or a beige color that will be a little bit in your planner. So it's not all just gray and white. But this one, I went completely neutral so you could see what it looks like with neutral tabs, neutral everything. Here's your boxes up front being neutral. And then your monthly tabbed page in complete neutral is all white. Your dashboard page in neutral. This dashboard looks a little bit different, so pay attention to when you're ordering. Really look through every single page of your planner because there are so many things you can customize. Make sure that you are choosing what you want. This one has a dot grid at the top, a whole bunch of to-do tick-offs, 2 boxes, and this one is not the same slick on the back. So your colored ones, maybe it is because they have to put the colored coating on here, but with the complete neutral, there is no coating over it. Then you just have your lined page opposite. This is so perfect for people who want to do their own color scheme every month, who want to have a blank slate. I put lines on this monthly. I also put holidays, but no moon phases. I did a Sunday start on this monthly and then a Monday start on the weekly. This is a popular layout that you guys will recognize that people have been missing from other companies. You can pick it up at Plum Paper, you guys. I have even forgotten to mention that on other layouts. You can have lines in here, or you can say no lines, and this is a completely blank space. You can do that with almost every single layout. With this layout, you can also just have your boxes, and they can be completely blank. And when you click on the screen, like it's very easy to see what it looks like. You just click lines or no lines, and it shows you both ways. Okay, this one, I did do a custom text. I did the custom text of saying my focus of the day up here. You don't have to have that written there. That could be nothing there. That could be whatever else you put there. The second line can also have something written there, but I decided not to put anything in there. So see, when you're doing custom text, you don't have to fill in every custom text. They give you the option to do. I saw this person loving daily lists. So it's just a lot of lines per day. They don't want to use a daily planner, and their daily lists just fit in here perfectly. Or use it for memory keeping. So I mocked up 2 different days in 2 different ways because I think it works really well for both of those. So here we just have all the task tick off boxes. You have 10 lines, not counting the top line in the top space. And in the top here, I put my focus of the day. And then on the second line, I decided to write what we were having for dinner. And then in that little space before the lines start, I loved having my weather / what was I doing for my body movement that day. Then all my tick offs. On this one, where I was using it more for someone who wants to memory keep, I put my focus was going to be more like a wellness goal of the day. I wanted to read 30 minutes. I put my weather below that. And then I loved that big box. I highlighted it with a highlighter. I just liked the way it looked with a mild liner in there. And I wrote gratitude because that day I was focusing on gratitude. So I think this could make a really beautiful memory keeper or journal too. This layout is in the 7x9 size and it is called the quad layout. The cover is called Cedarwood and it's absolutely beautiful. At the end of this one, I added a coloring page option. So whatever you add at the end, look, they give you a whole tab section for that. Added a coloring page section at the end. Look how cute those are. If you're someone that likes to color in or doodle just throughout the day or while you're on the phone, imagine just having these pages in your planners. And if you just have your map pencils or whatever you're coloring in with right next to you, you could just be on a phone call or a Zoom call and you can literally just be coloring in your planner. I've heard that coloring actually reduces stress. So they have some nice quotes in here, florals, all kinds you've seen. Camping. I think it's a really cute collection of coloring pages. And you get quite a lot. Then you have your basic pages that come with every Plum Paper planner. You have your 4 dot grid, you have your contacts and your passwords, and then 2027 at a glance, your pocket, and the end. I cannot leave this video without telling you about this stellar product from Plum Paper. This is actually their old version. They have a new version now. This is called their layout book. You can get a book with every single one of their normal layouts. I don't believe it has the teacher or the homeschooler, the academic, but maybe the redone one does. I'm not sure. I need to get a redone one on my next order. But every single layout, look, that's the dashboard layout in colored without the lines. The one I just showed you in neutral, and see how it looks so different without the lines. But with the colorful, you get the 2 boxes up top highlighted. They tell you the name of the layout right there. And then they also give it to you in lined. So you have each layout in here in lined and unlined so that you can try out different options. Like I said, the front of the book is going to be a little bit different and probably what's in it because they've redone this layout book. But for $10, you can try all these layouts, plus try out their paper. Look, there's the vertical me planner with the customization. They also have stickers you can customize. You guys, this is such a gift to their customers that you can buy this layout book for $10 and try out the paper and the layouts. I will give you the direct link to this layout book down there in the description so that you don't have to search for it on the site. They also have a new book too with all their add-ons in it. So you know, like the fitness pages, the goal pages, the coloring pages I was showing you. They have a separate book that you can buy with all those add-in pages. So if you're like, oh, I really want to test out Plum Paper before I purchase, this is such a great way to do it. All right, guys, if you've been with me, you know the drill. Take the deepest breath in that you've taken all day, maybe all week, and then release slowly through your mouth. Make that exhale longer than the inhale. Take another inhale while I'm talking us out. I hope that you get some time today to dig into your planner, to dig into reading a book, to take a walk, to do whatever you need to slow down your breathing and feed your soul. Take some time for you so that you can take care of others. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.